smaller guy and you're chasing the fight and you're giving it your all and you're putting everything into every punch, you go tired. Doesn't matter how fit you are, you're still going to go tired. You can't really afford to go tired against him.
I just think that Chris Eubank Jr wins the fight and he wins it on points. I think that he will just get into a rhythm. Conor will tire in the second half of the fight and Eubank will come out a points winner.
Yeah, I can be a world champ. I don't think he can. I don't think he's good enough to reign. He's tried and failed. Conor Benn, I think he's still got a career after this fight. 28, 29 years old. He's still got title ambitions at 147, 2 weight divisions below where the
Duke McKenzie tore into Conor Benn with surgical brutality during a live interview, delivering one of the most unforgiving breakdowns of Benn's chances against Chris Eubank Jr. McKenzie didn't sugarcoat a single syllable, and the verdict was devastating. Benn is walking blindly in—
That's what I think. I can't really see Ben's power playing a big part in this because he's going to fall short because of the size difference. And Eubank is wily enough and clever enough
into a mismatch disguised as a rematch. According to McKenzie, Benn's supposed punching power and aggressive style look laughable when placed beside Eubank's size, precision, discipline, and vastly superior ring IQ. What fans cling to as
levels, isn't it, Simon? Do you see what I mean? I'd like to think he could hold his own with Eubank, but I just see Eubank's size just being too much for him.
Raw grit or warrior instinct simply doesn't stack up against a fighter who has already dismantled Benn once, and whose confidence and ability have only sharpened since. McKenzie's critique went far beyond the usual commentary.
To murder somebody, we will not find out, at least for about 20 years. Yeah, but if other people murder people, they don't like to brag about it. He don't brag.
He broke it down in brutal, unforgiving detail. This isn't just another fight. This is a hierarchy on display. In his eyes, Conor Benn might have heart, but heart doesn't beat experience, doesn't beat timing, doesn't beat reach.
Win badly every week, and it's got nothing to do with Eubank. It's for Conor Benn. I want Conor Benn to win. I don't want Eubank to lose. I think that energy can come back and bite you in the arse. I've learned that over the years. I just want our guy to win for the work that he's put in.
And absolutely doesn't beat a fighter who knows how to weaponize size like Eubank Jr. Benn's height, his build, and the way he carries himself all far exceed his actual ability in the ring. Fans may need to lower their expectations drastically.
I think Chris is... I think he want to put a stamp on the win. That's what he definitely want to do. He want to put a stamp on it, and I can see it. I can see the way he training in camp, and that's what the trainer wants. He want to see the fighter, man, push extra and push.
Because Benn is stepping into a situation that exposes not just weaknesses, but delusions. It isn't just about styles. It's about inevitability. Eubank's power in combination, delivered with precision and venom,
it's weird. I don't like it. It really doesn't affect me personally. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna do exactly what I did to you in April. I'm gonna take your soul.
I was back in the gym on the Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. So you
like a good sparring session.
Your soul will be getting taken.
I was back in the gym on the Sunday, ready to go again. While you were crying about your flipping tongue now. Don't come here with that, Chris. You got beat up by a welterweight. You see your
is a nightmare waiting to be repeated. Benn isn't used to facing that level of tactical sharpness. One slip, one mistimed entry, one reckless burst. And that could be the end of the fight. This isn't simply boxing skill. It's devastation packaged methodically.
I believe Conor Benn's going to win. I think that the extra 2 years benefits Conor Benn. Because listen, Eubank's had a couple of tough fights since then. But listen, I like Eubank. I think he's good for boxing.
An assault constructed punch by a fighter who lives for moments like this. Benn's ego is about to collide with a reality that doesn't care about heart, hype, or heritage. Karn's passion for Benn is obvious, but McKenzie pointed out the truth hiding under.
But then Chris is clever, and he knows how to navigate fights. And he knows he beat
beneath. Loyalty doesn't win fights. Emotion doesn't stop punches. Benn's effort alone cannot bridge the tactical and physical canyon between him and Eubank. Eddie Hearn may hype Ben with all the confidence in the world, but even that bravado can't mask the looming storm. Chris isn't just preparing to fight Ben, he's preparing to publicly school him again. Meanwhile, Ben looks like the kid who shows up to a professional match carrying a water pistol, hopeful but unprepared, destined to be embarrassed in front of millions.
I wanted a new set of eyes on this fight. I didn't want to go in there with the same kind of game plan, and you know, we got to throw some banana skins in there. We've got to catch this.
His interviews only make things worse. His rambling, his shaky attempts at reassurance expose exactly what he is: a fighter full of hot air and very little substance. Eubank dismantled him once already, and the memory continues to sting. Fans can hear the insecurity when Ben speaks. He stutters while trying to rebuild the image he lost. In contrast, Eubank stands poised, disciplined, and calculating. Ben sounds like a man trying to hype himself into believing he belongs.
Conor Benn. Conor Benn's not a massive puncher, not even at welterweight. So really, he's kind of mugged himself off a little bit by saying, I'm going to knock this guy out. He didn't give Eubank enough respect. Like I say, he was throwing shots at several points in that fight, and he wasn't even looking where they were going. It was just like head down, winging the shots over.
He belongs in a shark tank, when everyone knows he still swims like a small fish in shallow water. His posturing is laughable. He acts like an online warrior, playing fighter on Twitter rather than in the ring. 2 extra years haven't cured his tactical naivety, poor timing, or inflated ego. While fans cling to the idea that Ben somehow transformed into a new, more dangerous fighter, the reality is painful. He's stepping into a rematch that will expose every technical flaw, every defensive hole, and every lapse in judgment he's been hiding behind aggression. Adam Smith captured it perfectly. Ben isn't facing.
Conor has him. Yeah. He's rocking. His legs go stiff. You just need the composure in them moments, and then you set it up. You attack the body. You get him to drop his hands again. The next heavy temple shot, chin shot, whatever, it's gonna rock and put him over. The ropes might keep him up. I believe we may see a knockdown Saturday, but ultimately, I think it'll be a really close.
Just an opponent. He's facing a man who already left him reeling once. Ben's confidence is fragile, built more on denial than development. Eubank's proven superiority turns this rematch into a psychological mountain. Ben is pretending he's not afraid to climb. Smith pointed out that Ben's overconfidence looks less like belief and more like desperation, a reckless attempt to talk himself into a fight he isn't mentally prepared for. The mismatch is glaring, and everyone sees it. Ben is the amateur trying to fake confidence. Eubank is the tactician preparing to expose him. Eubank Jr.'s approach is a masterclass, every move calculated, every angle planned. Meanwhile, Ben stumbles through preparations like someone blindfolded in a maze. His bizarre banana skin tactic, whether symbolic or literal, is more of a metaphor for the chaos he will experience in the ring.
I just believe in Chris's skill and his will that he has. You know, Chris always the one that he wants to win. He got that killer instinct. And once you got to get a fighter like that.
Eubank is playing chess with long-term strategy. Ben is playing checkers, hoping one lucky jump will save him. Fans will witness Ben scrambling behind the pace, constantly reacting, constantly late, constantly lost. Eubank's calm intelligence will make Ben look like a novice drowning in pressure. Duke McKenzie didn't hold back when addressing the fantasy that Ben could knock out Eubank. Ben's punches lack both the weight and the precision to trouble someone as seasoned and hardened as Eubank Jr. McKenzie painted a picture of a fighter overly impressed with his own reputation, blindly flailing against an opponent who operates in a different dimension of skill. Eubank respects the craft and prepares like a professional. Ben respects only his own hype, thinking height and heritage compensate for tactical confusion. To fans, Ben looks like a man trying desperately to live in his father's shadow. But instead...
And I think Eubank Jr., if he gets this win, and there's a new lease of life maybe under Bowmac, 2026, maybe finally he could become a world champion. But he's got to get past Conor Benn first. And Conor Benn, not just hungry for revenge, he believes he can win this because of what happened first time round, because he went 12 rounds at middleweight, up in class, after a long layoff. Some people fancy Benn in this.
Ed resembles an amateur pretending he belongs on the world stage. And every time Benn opens his mouth, the truth bleeds through. He lacks foresight. He lacks composure. He lacks the mental clarity needed to compete at this level. It's painful to watch. Tony Bellew broke down the darker side of this matchup with ruthless clarity. When Eubank lands clean, Benn's entire foundation crumbles. His legs stiffen. His posture collapses. His instincts turn reactive instead of strategic. Bellew's analysis reveals Benn as an easily rattled fighter, one who freezes when pressured and panics when attacked. Fans will watch Benn struggle to regain footing after heavy shots, relying more on luck and survival instinct than tactical defense. Eubank's bodywork and precision counterpunching will test Benn's limited composure until it shatters completely. Bowmac's confidence in Chris Eubank Jr. brings...
Talking about Crawford. What are you talking about?
Okay.
You haven't, I mean, it seems to me as I go back and look, I'm the only one giving him credibility. I don't believe he had anything to do with being juiced up. He got juiced up, his team juiced him up, whoever they are. That's my view. I don't think he had anything to do with it.
They'll have a different view on that, of course.
And I don't mind them coming.
The contrast into even sharper focus. While Chris embodies precision, discipline, calm aggression, and razor-sharp timing, Benn still struggles to identify where he belongs in boxing. Bowmac's perspective is simple. Training someone like Chris is easy. He does the work, mentally and physically. Training someone like Benn would be chaos. Inflated ego, shaky defense, unrefined fundamentals, and a tendency to overestimate his own power. Fans will see Eubank operate like a machine, while Benn swings wildly, guesses on timing, and wastes energy trying to assert himself in exchanges he cannot win. Anticipation, timing, composure. Eubank has them all. Benn has flashes of aggression and little else. His punches are wild.
And sort of bigger guy won it. The rematch is going to be interesting, I think. He's now realised that I can hurt that fighter. I've felt the other fighter's power. Next time, I know what's coming. I think he might even do better in the next one. I think he's got a shout to win it.
And Eubank's older.
I get these fights, but you do want to see Benn. Can you kick on to try and win her?
His tactics predictable, and his composure fragile. The inevitability screams louder with every breakdown. Chris isn't just going to win. He's going to humiliate Benn. He's going to strip away the hype and leave the truth on display for everyone watching. Adam Smith summarized the situation flawlessly. Benn stands as the lone obstacle between Eubank and a resurgence, yet appears hopelessly unprepared for the task. Benn's self-belief is rooted in past proximity to success, not actual improvement. He clings to the fact he moved up in weight, or that he lasted rounds, as if those alone grant legitimacy. But he's facing a fighter with superior IQ, superior conditioning, and superior precision. Fans sense the mismatch before the first bell rings. Benn will overexert himself, chase moments, and repeatedly fall into traps Eubank already mapped out. Chris Eubank Sr. highlighted the most painful truth.
He's improving, he'll learn a lot from that first match. This fight for me is a lot closer. Conor can catch him and calm it down a little bit on the outside and not rush like he was rushing his work and all the head movement and little short steps and all this on the outside. Unnecessary energy getting wasted. Top round.
Benn is hype with no foundation. He relies on narrative and legacy. Chris relies on skill and preparation. Benn projects toughness. Chris lives it. Eubank Sr.'s confidence isn't arrogance. It's observation. His son is simply better in every department. The interview exposed Benn's insecurity. He talks louder than he hits. He tries to convince the public he's dangerous when deep down, he knows he's outmatched. Ola's assessment adds another layer of realism. Benn hasn't proven his growth. Eubank has already dominated him. Surviving power isn't the same as neutralizing it. Fans cling to the fantasy that Benn matured, but the truth is, he remains a reactive fighter with no strategy beyond aggression. Eubank's age isn't a concern. His skill and composure render it irrelevant. Benn risks looking foolish in a sold-out arena, while Eubank controls tempo, distance, and the rhythm of the entire fight. Carl Froch offered one of the most brutally honest evaluations. Benn may have improved, but only marginally, nowhere near enough to threaten a fighter of Eubank's caliber. His biggest weaknesses remain: rushing, wasting energy, overcommitting, and panicking under pressure. Froch predicts a fight where every misstep Benn makes is punished immediately. Benn will try to be clever, but Eubank's counters and ring IQ will remind everyone of the gulf between them. When you put every analysis together, McKenzie, Bellew, Smith, Bowmac, Froch, Eubank Sr, Ola, the conclusion is painfully clear. Conor Benn is stepping into a fight stacked violently against him. Eubank Jr is smarter, sharper, stronger, more calculated, and infinitely more composed. Benn's bravado, hype, and online noise don't match the tactical reality. This isn't a fight. It's a lesson in humility, a painful, public dismantling waiting to happen.